Hi, I'm Susan Emerick, and I am here with Liz Bullock, who has been such a gracious contributor to our book, The Most Powerful Brand on Earth. And we cover a case study of Liz when she was with Dell as a director of social media and community. And we thought we would just talk a little bit about your experience there. And one of the things that you cover is around how social media actually impacts every stage of the customer life cycle and the experience, and how employee advocacy actually is a part of that, and what the advantages are. So if you could just tell us a little bit more about that, would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Susan, thank you. It's a true honor to be here chatting with you. You and Chris did an amazing job on the book. And I think that, when you look at how consumers are buying today, it's fundamentally changed. They basically are going out there, they're researching the products, beforehand, whether it's B2B, B2C. They're making decisions through their peers. Once they make those decisions, they expect engagement with the brand. They expect a thank you. They expect, if something's not right, for an immediate response, usually within the hour. And I think as companies, you have to really think about how you use social through that customer life cycle. I think, from an employee perspective, how are you activating those employees to go out there and listen and learn from the customers? How can they go out there into their peer-to-peer networks and be part of the conversation where it makes sense?
And also, you've done a significant amount of work developing the Smack You program for Dell, social media, community training program. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about how that got started and the elements of that program, if you'd be willing to share that, please.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I was part of a Center of Excellence team, and we reported into the CMO, and the focus was around how can we drive social media strategically into the business? How can we use social media as a more effective tool across HR, sales, product group, etc.? And so when I joined the team, my VP came to me and said, hey, we need to train some folks. I don't know who we train. I don't know what we train them on, but can you go figure it out? And so we actually, with Dell being a, data company in some ways, we started with the data first. And we said, hey, let's go look and see what our customers are doing. And what we found, there was 10,000 conversations a day happening in English only about Dell. So this was 3 years ago. We then said, who of our employees are out there and what are they doing? And so we found about 400 employees. They were across the board in different organizations. So once again, marketing, product group, sales. And we started to dig in and really see what they were doing. There were some that were fantastic, and they were off to the races and really engaging with customers in really rich and authentic ways. But there was kind of a midsection where we saw there was a real opportunity for these employees to be more savvy in how they use social. And so we decided to launch a program called SMAC University. It stands for Social Media and Community University. And we basically opened it up to all employees, but it was a requirement for any employee that was going to be using social on behalf of Dell. They had to go through this program and get certified. And the requirements really went into our policy. What are the risks? What are the best practices? What's Dell's strategy? What's Dell's point of view on this? What are employees' roles? And then the last thing was really teaching them judgment. I think end of the day, there's so much you can teach them, but I think it's how can they bring those kind of best practices to light and ensure that they're doing the right things.
Just one last question. It's really interesting that you describe a data-driven approach to employee advocacy and how you enabled your employees at Dell. And within IBM, we have been transforming our marketing and communications function very much from social intelligence and gathering the data and then adjusting strategic approaches based on the insights that's coming from the data. And I just think it's a significant change as a marketing professional over the years, having been in marketing and communications since pre-internet days. Quite interesting. So I'm curious to know how, as a professional in marketing and communications, it's changed the way you approach your role.
To me, I think there is such a rich amount of data now with social. We can get more insights into what customers like, don't like, sentiment. I heard Sandy Carter speak the other day, and she was sharing this whole fact of around 200 tweets, you can see 52 personalities. That's incredible data. And as a brand, I think you need to be leveraging that information to really understand your customer and how you can service them and support them. And so I think the data piece is fundamentally changing the marketing and communications team. I don't know if they're all aware of that yet, but I think that change is coming and they're going to have to embrace it.
Thank you so much for being with me today,
Oh,
and
you bet.
also for all your contributions to the book. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, was it true?
Thanks, Liz.